Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Welcome everyone. Today we're going to be talking about the cheerleader from Singapore, part 4. This is the tragic life of Tristan Bailey. While the police were continuing their investigation and trying to find the body of Tristan Bailey, at 6:05 p.m. on May the 9th, they would receive a phone call that everyone had feared. Daniel Hart would be jogging around the area and had decided around the time that he was going to go taking a quick jog and search over on the east side of Saddlestone Park. And he would find the mangled, brutalized body of a young woman fitting the description of Tristan Bailey and would immediately call the police. The police would waste no time and go to the east side of Saddlestone Parkway, and they would find the body that Hart was talking about, and they would do a forensics and autopsy, and it would confirm it was the body of 13-year-old Tristan Bailey. And they had realized from the body that she had been stabbed over 114 times, and 49 of which were defensive wounds. This girl fought desperately for her life. The first thing the police would do was check Tristan's body for fingerprints, but the ridges were not really picking up with the prints that they could get, and the only thing they could really get is the size of the hands that had actually killed Tristan Bailey. And they would start canvassing out the area so they could find whatever information they could. And they realized close by to where Tristan was actually laid and murdered at, there was a home by the doctor by the name of Larry Schoenberg. And they realized that at his home he had actually had home security cameras. The police would actually go up to the home and ask Larry if they could receive all the evidence of the security cameras, which Larry would let them. The video would actually work in sync with the other security footage they had had from Saddlestone Park. And on Schoenberg's security cameras, it could be seen a male and female walking in front of the camera around 1:45 in the morning. They would walk completely out of view, and the next thing that the camera would show is the male figure running across the camera screen at 3:27 in the morning, carrying some white shoes. And considering the cameras fit the description of both Aiden Fucci and Tristan Bailey on both cameras on the night of her disappearance and murder, the police would waste no time in taking Aiden Fucci into custody for more questioning. But this time they would come with his parents, and they would refuse to speak to the police until their attorney would arrive. What they did not know was during the conversation with his parents, they would not let the Fuccis know that they were being recorded.
You know, they found this girl, right?
Where?
In our neighborhood, down our main street.
Is she good?
No,
she's not.
She's dead. That's why this is very important. It's all on you right now.
This is my problem.
You were
She
the
was
last
the
one
last
with
one
her.
seen with her. So right now, it's a lot of it's facing you right now, son. That Snapchat that you did was not very smart.
Not good at all. Now we have people wanting to burn our house down and our cars down. Because of that Snapchat thing you did. It's all over. You're all over the internet and everywhere. Social media.
It is on social media. You'll probably come stay with me after we get done with this.
What were you doing outside late at night?
I was at Trey's house hanging out with them.
Did you kiss or do anything with this girl?
Be honest as you can to them.
To
Yes.
Yeah, I kissed her.
anything further?
This is no joke. This is
Aiden's mother, Crystal, would actually confront Aiden about his change of stories in this conversation before the police would interview. And in this first bit, she had asked him if he had actually kissed Tristan Bailey, and he would say that he had kissed her. But then she would turn around and also ask her son, why did you push her when she grabbed your private parts, to where he stayed really silent. Which was basically confirming what the police were confused about. If you kissed her, why would you push her? And in the same instance, Jason and Crystal would also tell Aiden that his Snapchat post had created such a backlash around the family that around the time of that day, they were getting constant death threats of not just against themselves, but against their property as well. Jason Fucci, Aiden's father, would then ask his son, "Why did you take your shoes off?" to where he would reply, "Because my feet was hurting." Now, mind you, the police had not began investigating Aiden at this time, but it is at this point that anything that the parents and Aiden had told the police went out the window, because it's at this point the police knew that was their confirmation that that was Aiden on the security camera. And also keep in mind, they had prior told the police that Aiden was not wearing blue jeans at night but khakis. And now in this conversation, they have him confirming that was him on camera running out of the screen holding his white shoes. Another damning piece of evidence is right before the police would arrive to talk to Aiden, the last thing his father would say to Aiden would be, "I think you killed Tristan Bailey." Before the police would talk to Aiden, they would walk into the room at this time and ask Aiden if he was willing to give a DNA sample, to where Aiden would say, "Yeah." And he would promptly walk out of the room. The parents would look at Aiden and say, "You do know why they're asking for a DNA sample?" And Aiden would just shrug his shoulders. And they would say, "They're looking to see if your DNA is on this girl. Are they going to find anything?" Aiden would say no. And it is at this point that something very eerie would happen, that Crystal would look at Aiden and get really close on the camera and whisper in his ear, "Blood." It's also to be noted around this time that Jason, Crystal, and Aiden could be seen passing a cell phone back and forth, which the police knew at this point that is their way of having conversations between each other that they did not want the police to know about. So they knew at this point in time that Aiden's parents were actually coaching him on what to say. The police would go in and take Aiden into custody. They had not had the evidence they needed to charge him with murder, but they were getting very close. And it is around this time that after taking them into custody, they would go to the Fucci home to look for evidence. And luckily for them, there would be security cameras inside and outside the home of the Fucci house. Once they arrived to the Fucci house, they would find evidence that was even more damning. On the outside security cameras on the night of the murder, Aiden can be seen running up to the door, still holding the white shoes, also confirming that he was indeed the person that was on Saddlestone Park. And on the morning of the 9th, when they first went to Aiden to question him about the disappearance of Tristan Bailey, after they would take him outside into the squad car, Crystal can be seen running up into the room and grabbing a pair of jeans, and can also be shown in the bathroom hand washing these jeans. And when the police went in to investigate the house, they would find clothes with blood residue on it. Aiden's shoes would have blood residue on it. Even though the jeans were clean, they would look at the sink at where Crystal had hand washed the jeans, and they would find blood residue inside the sink. It is at this point the police pretty much had everything they needed to know to move forward with Aiden Fucci, and it is at this point that they charged him with second-degree murder. Later on that night, they would send a dive team where they found the body of Tristan Bailey, and immediately they would find a knife with the tip broken off. They would do forensic and testing on the knife, and it actually was a complete match for the knife particle that was embedded into Tristan Bailey's skull. Trey Apsher and Aiden Fucci's girlfriend would later tell the police and confirm it was in fact Aiden Fucci's knife that he had nicknamed Picker.